A war is raging amid the dense forests and vast plains of Mississippi. Wild hogs are wild and relentless, destroying crops, ravaging livestock, and threatening the very way of life for farmers in Yazoo County. By 2025, reports from the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks estimated that these invasive monsters had caused more than $2,300,000, 0 cents in damage, statewide, which hit hard for families like mine who have poured their blood and sweat into this land. Hunters can no longer stand by. This is the story of a thrilling hunt, where every second is a fight for survival and every shot carries the weight of a people's future. If this continues, the quality of the crop will be severely reduced. So it was at that time in the cold of a December afternoon that my team of experienced hunters set out on a challenging mission to stop these giant wild boars. The winter chill cut into our hands as we loaded our guns and checked our equipment. The tension was high. Videos from local farmers went viral, herds of wild boars charging through the fields, their hooves tearing up the newly sprouted corn. The hunt began near the Yazoo River, where boar tracks cut across the muddy banks. Armed with high-powered rifles and a few tools, sturdy PVC pipes to help us shoot accurately in tight spaces, we moved quietly into the swampy woods. Ten minutes later, a lone boar, easily 200 pounds, was rummaging through the undergrowth, unaware of our presence. I raised my dot 308, the scope locked onto the boar. A deep breath, a click of the trigger. The beast fell, the first shot of the day a success. What makes hunting in Mississippi unique are the landowner exemptions and access to public land. On private property, like family farms, there are no population limits, allowing hunters to target entire herds without restriction. On public land, hunters must carry a valid hunting license and adhere to the designated hunting seasons for each weapon. But wild hogs are still legal even during bow and arrow or black knuckle shooting seasons. We train to adapt, practicing fast reloads and steady aim in dense brush, where a momentary hesitation could send a 400-pound wild hog hurtling into the brush. Safety was paramount, with Mississippi requiring hunters to wear bright orange vests during overlapping big game seasons to avoid accidents. A rule we practiced until it became second nature. In Mississippi's Yazoo County, people start at a local hardware store, stocking up on essentials like 4-inch PVC pipe to build hog feeders. Back on the farm, hunters drill precise holes in the PVC pipe to create slow-release feeders to lure hogs out of cornfields. Assembling them with chains and eye bolts for durability, they ferment corn with yeast and jello to create irresistible bait, ensuring hogs will flock to the hunter's trap. This preparation turns chaotic hunts into calculated attacks, as seen when they deployed feeders near the Yazoo River, luring a herd of 40 into an ambush where a precise shots took down dozens. Combining strategic tools, rigorous training and regulatory flexibility has saved millions in crop damage and prevented wild hogs from being knocked down, one hunt at a time. It's great to have you join us as we continue to explore new lands. Over 3 million wild boars roam Texas, causing more than $500 million, 0 cents in damage every year. Behind these staggering numbers lies a story of deep roots and hard-earned legacy farmers who've transformed tough land into thriving orchards for generations. But now, the very soil they cherish is under siege by a relentless invader born from history's mistakes. How did Texas's proud farming culture unknowingly fuel this wild explosion? And what price is paid in the fight to reclaim the land? Let's unravel the fierce struggle shaking the Lone Star State. To understand this crisis, we need to rewind the clock way. In the 1500s, Spanish explorers like Hernando de Soto brought boars to the New World. Some escaped, went wild, and began multiplying in the wild. Then, in the 1930s, Eurasian wild boars were imported for sport. These interbreed with wild boars, creating a stronger hybrid. By the 1980s, the population exploded. Thanks to one terrifying fact, sows can produce 2 litters of up to 12 piglets per year. Why Texas? It's hog heaven. Open landscapes, food-rich environments, warm climate, and few natural predators. And surprisingly, wild boars have been around for about 400 years. What started as a novelty has become a necessity. In the 1980s, hunters began treating wild hogs as prize game. Today, it's a full-blown industry. Texas law reflects that: no limits bags, no closed season urgency. House Bill 716 even promotes aerial depredation, which involves shooting wild hogs from helicopters. Outfits like Heli Bacon charge up to $1,500 0 cents per hunt. Private landowners, meanwhile, lease land for $150 0 cents to $700 0 cents per hunt. For some, wild hogs are more profitable than cattle. But the problem is that, despite all of this, it's not enough. Wild hogs are nocturnal and constantly adapting. Hunting slows them down, but it doesn't stop their spread. Comment if you think this argument is valid. But here's the shocking thing. These high-tech traps aren't perfect heroes. More than 30% of non-target animals have been caught in these devices across Texas. What about hunters? Many feel these traps are stealing their hard-earned prey, turning what was once a skillful pursuit into a mechanical slaughter. The old rules of hunting, patience and skill are being lost. This isn't just a technological solution, it's a powder keg of ethical and safety risks exploding in the heart of Texas. Are these wire cage traps as bad as they're made out to be? Share your thoughts below. And some are turning destruction into opportunity. Chefs are turning wild hogs into a staple on Texas menus, proving that invasive species can be turned into sustainable food. Communities are also banding together. Farmers, government agencies and hunters are forming regional alliances to manage land, share data and educate others. Even beleaguered orange groves are bouncing back with better traps, smarter planning, and a whole lot of resilience. If you've ever had a taste of wild hog, give us a yes or no, and tell us why below. The hunt may be over, but the fight against wild hogs, the most ferocious invasive enemy Texas has ever faced, is far from over. This epic chase through the orange grove is not only a story of destruction, but also a powerful wake-up call for all Texans. It reminds us all that protecting the land requires awareness, responsibility, and solidarity. Hopefully, Texans can reclaim their orchards, preserve their heritage, and protect the future of this great land. You already know that Florida's terrain is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to wild hog hunting. Wild hog hunting in Florida typically takes place in the Lake Wales Ridge area, where hunters face steep slopes and jagged rocks. Multi-day group hunts typically last 2 to 3 days, requiring endurance and close coordination. The harsh terrain makes for slow movement with the risk of slipping or falling and exhaustion. One study found that hunters could only take 4 hogs per day before becoming exhausted, especially in large mountainous areas. To overcome this, hunters use large caliber rifles such as the .38 Winchester to shorten hunting distances. At the time of application, the number of wild hogs hunted was 75% and reduced travel time, ensuring the health of the hunters. But even the fierce hunting on the steep terrain of Lake Wales Ridge can't stop wild boars from wreaking havoc. In Florida, the varied terrain from the flooded Everglades to the arid lands disturbed by urban development has altered the habits of wild pigs. According to the US Department of Agriculture, wild pigs cause $1,500,000,000, 0 cents in damage yearly. The expansion of residential areas has reduced their natural habitat. pushing wild pigs into urban areas and beaches like Palm Beach. Pressures from habitat loss and scarce food sources fuel this aggressive behaviour. In Florida wild hog hunting, hunters often use powerful rifles like the 308 Winchester, which can take down a 300-pound hog from 250 yards. These rifles have superior stopping power with around 2,800 foot-pounds of energy. In contrast, handguns like the 44 Magnum or 10M Auto are less effective, producing only around 1,200 foot-pounds and are suitable for short-range shooting under 100 yards. Given the wild hog's aggressive nature, rifles are the best choice for this important hunt. Wild hog hunting laws are key to controlling this invasive species. In Florida, there is no limit on the number of wild hogs that can be hunted on private land with the landowner's permission. On public land, hunters must have a valid license and use non-toxic ammunition. Wild hogs are highly intelligent and constantly change their feeding habits, making them difficult to track. Hunters have responded by building fences and using baits like corn to lure them. These strategies have reduced the wild hog population by 20% in areas like Myakka River State Park, helping to protect crops and ecosystems. If you're in close range hunting, how will you handle it? Run away or shoot without precision? Without the right skills, failure is inevitable. So here is a lesson for you. Use a long-range binocular to prepare to capture the behaviour of wild boars from a distance of more than 300 yards, turning the chaotic chase into a calculated pursuit. This is a turning point, helping the hunter confidently move closer and make the perfect shot. After a long day of hunting, the reward is a sumptuous feast. In Florida, wild boar meat is processed into dishes such as roasts or sausages, which provide rich flavour with little fat. Hunters must inspect the meat for parasites and cook it safely. In counties like Polk, community gatherings celebrate the hunt, with hunters sharing stories and celebrating their wild boar victories. With more than 268,000 square miles of grasslands, forests and wetlands, Texas is a haven for wild boars. The warm climate, abundant water from thousands of streams and a rich diet of acorns and roots help them thrive. But this bounty also makes them a nightmare, destroying millions of acres of land and defying all attempts at control. Brought to the United States by Spanish explorers in the 16th century, wild boars have become one of the most dangerous invasive species. With an estimated population of 9 million, they are present in more than 35 states, from Florida to California. In Texas, they cause $2.5 billion, 0 cents in damage each year, destroying millions of acres of corn, soybeans and wheat. A female pig can give birth to up to 12 piglets a year, causing the population to grow rapidly. Weighing 75 to 400 pounds, Running at speeds of 30 miles per hour and with large tusks, wild boars pose a threat not only to crops but also to humans. One West Texas farmer said he was once chased and nearly knocked down by a 250-pound pig while checking his fence. To combat wild hogs, Texas farmers have built steel fortresses called corrals that are up to 40 feet wide and 6 feet high to prevent them from jumping out. Wild boar trapping can catch a herd of 20 to 30 animals at a time. The trick is to place the wild boar trapping in the right location, near a stream or large lake, where the pigs often gather to drink. Signs like rutted soil or 3-inch footprints are important clues. One big surprise is fermented corn bait. Soaking corn in water for 5 to 7 days creates a scent that catches the hogs off guard. One Comal County farmer caught 40 in one night by simply setting the traps near a lake and using fermented corn. But to succeed, they must overcome the invasive species' incredible intelligence. Wild boars are not so easily defeated. They are active mainly between 9 PM and 3 AM and have a frightening ability to learn. Many farmers make the mistake of using weak wire mesh, which allows the boars to break through the traps in minutes. Another serious mistake is closing the trap gates too early, catching only a few animals and allowing the herd to continue breeding. Or worse, if the trapped pigs let out a distress call, they alert the entire area, causing the remaining boars to stay away from the trap forever. According to the USDA, a single failure can make the boars smarter, making the trap much more difficult to work with. This turns the fight into a risky game of cat and mouse. How do you beat wild hogs? The answer is patience and technology. Texas farmers leave trap gates open for 5 to 7 days, allowing the hogs to get used to eating the bait without suspicion. They use infrared cameras to monitor the traps, closing the remote-controlled gates only when 80% of the herd is in the trap. Once caught, the hogs must be moved within an hour to avoid warning calls. Another surprising strategy? Change the location of the wild boar trapping every 3 to 4 months to trick the wild boar's memory. With these techniques, some farmers have a success rate of as much as 70%, saving thousands of acres of land each year. In addition, the use of wild boar trapping using iron cages and more aggressive methods such as poison, which will be allowed in Texas starting in 2024, has sparked fierce debate. Animal rights groups called the traps cruel, while ecologists warn that mass culling could upend ecosystems, threatening native species like deer and migratory birds. Farmers say doing nothing would be catastrophic, with wild boars destroying 100,000 acres of wetlands each year, endangering water supplies and biodiversity. So, what's the right answer? The video raises awareness of a global problem, promotes sustainable solutions, and inspires communities to take action against invasive species. The fight against wild boars is not just about protecting crops. It's about protecting livelihoods and the future of communities. Through ingenuity and perseverance, Texas farmers are fighting back against these invaders. In a shocking turn of events, wild boars have breached the urban boundaries of Turkey, causing unprecedented chaos in cities like Istanbul and Ankara. These once rural invaders have been spotted rummaging through city trash bins, tearing up public parks, and even charging at pedestrians. The damage is staggering, over 10,000 wild boars reported in urban areas, leading to millions in property damage and escalating public safety concerns. Authorities are scrambling to implement control measures, but the boar's rapid reproduction rate and adaptability make them a formidable adversary. This urban invasion marks a new chapter in Turkey's battle against wild boars, highlighting the urgent need for effective wildlife management strategies. Wild boar hunting is not an easy task. It is strictly regulated by the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. The over 50,000 licensed hunters by 2024 must complete a 40-hour training course on gun safety, wildlife behaviour and ethics. Hunting is restricted to specific seasons and areas, with night hunts, when wild boars are most active, limited to just 20% of the designated area. Make just one mistake and you'll be facing a 300-pound beast that can run at 25 miles per hour. Last spring I was tracking a wild boar near Mugla. I thought I had it, but then it turned and charged at me so fast that I barely had time to climb the tree.
Sol abi, sol.
But I was lucky to escape because my teammate next to me opened fire. And last year, 12 hunters were reported to have been injured in wild boar attacks.
Balansı bozuldu zaten.
To balance things out, hunters rely on their hunting dog allies. Breeds like Kangal and Akbash, trained from puppyhood, track and catch wild boars with precision. By 2024, hunting with hunting dogs will account for 60% of successful wild boar hunts. However, according to Turkish law on wild boar hunting, hunting dogs cannot be left alone to hunt wild boars and must be equipped with GPS devices for safety. A single trained team can take down 50 wild boars in a season. The results have been well worth the hunter's hunting spirit. In 2024, coordinated hunts eliminated 150,000 wild boars, saving an estimated $20 million, 0 cents in agricultural losses. In provinces like Kenya and Antalya, crop damage was reduced by 25%. In Turkey's largest wild boar hunt in history, which method impressed you the most? Hunting with dogs or hunting with AI technology? Comment below. My family has been working this land for 80 years. Last season, wild boars took half of my crop, losing $15,000, 0 cents overnight. But thanks to strict measures and regulations, the situation has been turned around. My family's economy has been restored. If you ask me which measure I support the most, the answer will be hunting, because I think it saves a lot of money on sterilization. At the same time, after sterilization, wild boars still have the opportunity to cause damage. What is your opinion? What do you think is the most effective solution in this ongoing struggle? Advanced technology or traditional hunting methods? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. Don't forget to share the information with more people so they have a little more skill when facing wild boar. Stay tuned. These invasive species, with their crushing bite force of up to 3,700 psi, can strike with such speed that they are dangerous. When a crocodile invades a home or an unsuspecting person becomes its next meal, there is little chance of escape from the moment their powerful jaws clamp down. The horror of these attacks serves as a reminder of the raw power of nature and why it is important to always respect wildlife. Africa records around 300 crocodile attacks on humans each year in Tanzania and South Africa, which are home to many rivers. These attacks often occur when people are swimming or walking through areas where crocodiles are present. However, the victims are lucky to escape with help in time. In light of this, the initial approach by the government was to build fences around the banks of rivers and lakes to separate the invasive species from residential areas. These measures have proven ineffective, as crocodiles are good climbers. The government's decision to organise hunting trips to control the crocodile population. Focus on strict regulations for hunters and safety measures during hunting, using high-powered rifles and specialised training. Crocodile hunting in the wild is not for the faint of heart. Professional hunters carry 375 H&H Magnum or 458 Winchester Magnum rifles to ensure a quick knockdown of the invasive species. With scopes that zoom in on targets up to 200 yards away, they approach their prey with precision and strategy. The process is stressful when a crocodile is spotted, with hunters having to remain calm and assess its movements. But what if hunting isn't the only solution? Crocodile hunting in Africa is a high-risk endeavour that requires meticulous preparation. Hunters start by preparing large pieces of fresh meat to attract these dangerous predators, which are known to prefer raw meat.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.